Time now to talk business with our partners, 2 degrees. It's 21 minutes away from 8. Right, we have some developing news this morning. The first fast-track decision on a mining project is out, and it grants a provisional yes for a new underground gold mine at Waihi. Garth Bray, BusinessDesk, has the details. Garth.
G'day, Ryan.
So what do you know?
I was down there a little while ago in the last couple of weeks, had a chat with the Senior Vice President of OceanaGold for legal and so on, Alison Paul, and had a bit of a look at the mine myself. Actually, we've got a wee bit of video on that I can show you.
Oh.
OceanaGold has applied for fast-track approval to keep mining much more of this.
That is 24% gold, and that is $1.4 million in my hands right now. I don't think they're going to let me get out of here with this. This is 200 ounces. They reckon they're going to pull 1.6 million ounces out of the ground north of here if they get that fast track consent.
This is a project that's going to spend over $1 billion in capital in New Zealand dollars. It's going to spend over $2 billion in expenditure generally within New Zealand. And it's going to deliver several hundred jobs to begin with, and then we're going to see that ramp up as we start mining.
Fantastic. Clearly you didn't take the gold home, because otherwise you wouldn't be here with us today. But so it got a yes to the fast track. What does that mean?
It means this is draft or provisional approval, so they kind of do a bit of a show and tell, and they give the main people that can submit on this, including OceanaGold, who are seeking the application, iwi, Forest and Bird, a few other groups that were invited into the process by the expert panel, ministers as well, get a chance to have a say about this, and some Crown agencies and development departments. They've got basically the next couple of weeks to put submissions through to say, hey, we just want to tweak this, want to tweak that. So far as I understand, none of the draft decisions have been overturned. In some cases, if the draft decisions, one or two of them have been against a project, the project's sort of pulled back out of the process.
Okay.
So this looks like it's going to happen.
Good. The workers there will be very happy about that, the union too. Right, let's talk about the OCR. It's OCR Day today, final one for the year and final one for Hawkesby. Yeah, and so in honour of this, I suppose, our Rebecca Howard has done a deep dive into the processes behind how they actually make the decision, which is a fascinating little read. Apparently it's about a 2-week process. They basically get about 200 pages worth of information together, probably the Friday a week before all of this happens, and spend the whole sort of weekend running over that. Then the Monday before the decision, they're all sort of locked away. It's almost like a budget pre-foo, which is a big deal. And they crunch the numbers, and Christian Hawkesby is saying, look, unlike what you see in the US Fed playing out in the papers even now, where you've got governors making speeches and putting their stall out and saying, this is what I think should happen, he says this committee of between 5 and 7, it's 6 at the moment, tries to leave the decision to the absolute last possible moment in the most Kiwi way you can imagine. You're kind of deciding what movie you're going to watch as you're walking into the cinema kind of thing, or leaving it to the last minute. They try and just look at all the information and put it off until almost the day She'll be right. Well, she'll be right, mate. It's interesting what's happening with the Fed, just so overnight, because it's almost political over there. You've got your allies, so Jerome Powell, he's got 2 allies have come out and said, indicating they will vote for a cut in December, which now looks like it's odds on to happen, and they cut and then hold, even though inflation's running hotter than it should be, over 2%. Anyway, finally this morning, Garth, regional councils, they are to be no more if this proposal goes ahead. And the announcement was made after market close yesterday for a good reason. They have investments. What happens with all of them?
Good question, right? So Chris Bishop's saying, look, that'll be up to the regions, but if they're getting rid of regional councils and they're talking about amalgamating, these councils actually have a lot of assets, a lot of ports. I mean, I could run you through them if I can check my notes there, but I mean, Port of Tauranga, which is in that fast-track process, got knocked out of it on a judicial review. Expect more of those as the amendments roll through on that, they're saying. You know, as people trying to find ways to challenge the decisions and so on. But so Port of Tauranga, Napier Port, Centre Port, Port of Otago, Bluff South Port.
All the ports.
A lot of ports. And there's been an argument that maybe they're all kind of a bit scattered around the place. This might be old Chancellor old Sam Stubbs with the Infra Kiwi to jump in here and snap a few up if he can get that off the ground, or just another big infrastructure player to sort of pull it all together. Obviously, a lot of those councils are going to be looking at sort of trying to capitalise other plans that they have for the region. There are a few other things they get into. I think there's like sort of regional councils run not-for-profits and cloud-based software for member organisations and all this kind of stuff. They do a lot of business, and that will presumably have to find a new owner if they're going to disband what they do.
Garth, thank you. Good to see you as always. Garth Bray, Business Desk. Thanks to our partners, 2 Degrees.